It's a heater out there. Our photographer found this guy braving the hot weather. The grass isn't going to cut itself.
It sure isn't. Mine doesn't. You may want to wait for temperatures to drop just a little bit if you have some yard work to do. With heat index right now, we're way past the 100 mark.
Yeah, Evan, will there be some relief inside with the night sky, though?
There will be. Well, of course, once sun sets, those temperatures will drop, but it'll still be a muggy evening with that heat index value around 100 for the next hour or so. Will likely drop below that a little bit later this evening. But again, we're just looking at the hot temperatures across the region. What looked like a couple of showers on radar, we're not seeing that on the ground reports. And as we take a live look outside, you can see lots of blue skies, but those temperatures well into the 90s, 91 degrees right now in Hampton and Norfolk, 89 in Chesapeake, 87 in Virginia Beach, and 89 in Melfa on the eastern shore. When you factor in that humidity, as we mentioned, it feels like well over 100 degrees just about all of Hampton Roads. 94 is the apparent temperature of the heat index out in Virginia Beach. So through the rest of the evening, mainly clear skies, muggy and warm conditions. Notice those temperatures dropping by 9 o'clock to 82 degrees. By 11 o'clock, we're at 78, but it'll still feel like the low 80s when you factor in that humidity. So again, it is going to be a muggy and warm night tonight. Temperatures tomorrow a degree or two cooler than what we saw today, and maybe a degree or two cooler again on 4th of July. I'll have much more on that in the 7-day forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Evan. Well, 13 News Now getting things done. Dozens of elderly people living inside Effingham Plaza in Portsmouth now have working AC.
Residents here on Madison Street have been sweating it out. They say the unit has been broken since Saturday. 13 News Now reporter Allie Weatherton was on the scene all day.
Hot. I mean hot.
Too hot to go inside.
We have residents here that are sick, can't even get out of bed. And without AC, it's hard on them and it's hard on all of us, really.
Take a look at this thermostat. It's 89 degrees inside Effingham Plaza, a place where elderly people live.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Residents sat outside for most of the day, saying it's cooler with a breeze than sitting in a closed-off room.
Yesterday was miserable. Last night was miserable. The same today.
Portsmouth Redevelopment and Housing Authority Executive Director Edward Bland says they've had problems with the air conditioning unit.
The system has been down, been back up, been down, back up.
Today, a private contractor spent most of the day working on the unit. Bland says a broken valve is the reason for the problem. Around 3:45 this afternoon, it was fixed.
Now that the air is back on, it will still take some time to circulate throughout the building and cool down. In Portsmouth, Allie Weatherton, 13 News Now.
We told you last week about another apartment complex, one in Newport News, dealing with air conditioning problems. City officials issued 74 codes compliance citations at Aqua Vista Apartments over the span of a week. The move follows more than 24 citations against the complex for broken AC units. The complex must have those units fixed tomorrow. We'll let you know what happens. As Evan said earlier, the heat advisory is in place until 8 o'clock tonight with more hot temperatures this week. There are several cooling centers open. You can find those locations on the 13 News Now app under Top Stories.
Well, here's an update surrounding the death of Denise Martin from Virginia Beach. Well, police tell 13 News Now they do not suspect foul play at this time. Now, you may recall the recent Longwood University graduate disappeared late last month from her home in the Red Mill area. Police found Martin's body last Wednesday not far from her home. We're still waiting on a cause of death from the medical examiner. Well, 2 arrested in a cold case murder in Suffolk. Police have charged Justin Francie and Joshua Williams in connection with a homicide from last July. Now, both face a handful of charges, including involuntary manslaughter. The charges stem from a shooting on Gloucester Street in downtown Suffolk. The shooting claimed the life of 26-year-old Brandon Hudgens and wounded another man.
Right now, the search is on for a man in Virginia Beach who is exposing and touching himself in front of young girls. Parents say it happened during a fundraising event for Green Run High School's cheerleading squad last weekend. 13 News Now reporter Stephen Graves is looking into the story.
Yeah, police say it happened in the morning hours, still light outside. Parents I spoke to didn't want to go on camera, but as you can imagine, they're determined to find out who did this to their children. The Chimney Hill Shopping Center in Virginia Beach, over at the corner of Holland and Rosemont Roads, the perfect place for young kids and parents to raise money.
A couple of cheerleading squads, a couple of step teams, and then the band from one of the local middle schools.
There's a lot of gas stations on the corner, so a lot of stuff does happen.
But Nancy Lee says she's never seen anything like we told her. Parents of Green Run High cheerleaders reporting the unthinkable last weekend.
It's repulsive.
Virginia Beach police say they're looking into claims of a man exposing himself to those girls. They say they got a call at around 11 Saturday morning. A Facebook post from one parent saying the man called the 14 to 15-year-old girls over to his car. The man allegedly took out his genitals, fondled himself, and told the girls to, quote, look down.
And if there is a stalker or any type of flasher, they would see parents, because each time the parents actually have their tent usually right here at the 7-Eleven.
Those parents actually got photos of their suspect from inside that store. We're blurring his face because police haven't confirmed him as who they are looking for. Still, some folks around here are concerned. Others aren't. Either way, they say they hope to never hear about anything like this again.
Could it happen? Maybe. Did I witness it? No. If they're doing it, stop.
Now, once again, police haven't given a description in this case. If you were in the area, parents say it happened around the Firestone store in the mall, you're asked to call police. Stephen Graves, 13 News Now.
Just last week, a few miles from this latest incident, a rising star in mixed martial arts was accused of exposing and touching himself in front of several women. Arrianee Smith faces several charges in Virginia Beach, but Smith tells 13 News Now that Virginia Beach police have the wrong man. Police say the incidents happened over several months at Lansdowne Commons, but Smith tells us he has an alibi for each alleged offense dating back to March.